Okay, so we are back with the new release from 88 Films. Jackie Chan's The Protector from 1985. Of course, directed by James Glickenhaus. Famously, Jackie and James Glickenhaus didn't get along. It's safe to say it was a clash of styles. James Glickenhaus has a very particular way that his movies feel, the whole vibe that surrounds them, and Jackie has the same. He has his own style too. So we've got this wonderful, wonderful new release. Of course, The Protector's been released before by 88, but they've done this obviously now on 4K. So, and we've got this gorgeous deluxe edition. So let's break it down. So we've got a couple of different things here. I love the way they've started doing these, by the way, because you have the slip case, like the sleeve that goes over the top, and you've got the gorgeous artwork. That's from Sean Longmore. And what's interesting about this that they've got on the front, this is geared towards the Jackie Chan cut of the film. We'll get more into that in a little bit. But you've got this, and then of course on this back you've got this wonderful artwork as well. And you can kind of see it on the actual. You've got a great sturdy box that it all comes in as well. So again, you've got that Hong Kong cut, Jackie Chan cut artwork on there. And then what you've got on the back here, this is kind of more focused on like the James Glickenhaus cut. Because obviously, like the notable thing here, you've got of course Sally Ye on the cover here. And also she's listed. Whereas obviously she's not present she's not present in the American cut. And so we've got this gorgeous box, gorgeous slipcase. Then of course, recently 88 Films it's been a bit hit and miss as to whether they've included a full poster or not. Some times they've just included like the art card inside, but they've given us a full poster. Of course, the gorgeous, we'll call it Sean Longmore's Hong Kong cut artwork. And then on the back, we've got this landscape. This is basically the US poster, isn't it? So, I owned the previous 88 Films release of The Protector. I did a video way back. And, because I do like serious Jackie. I really do. But one of the big mistakes I made, I didn't watch the Hong Kong cut before. I just watched the US cut, and I didn't think any more of it. Of course, one of the other big things here I got to take the time to mention is the gorgeous booklet. Got that great shot of Jackie on the front. And then some, again, very, very different artwork on the back here, which is really cool. Yeah, so let's have a look. This is it 80 pages? Yeah, perfect bound book with 80 pages. Yeah, and I've had a quick flick through this, but there's some great images. Like, here you go. You've got a full spread there. Really love that picture of Moon Lee. And then obviously you've got Sally Ye there. They've used that as the inspiration for the artwork of her with the foil in her hand. It's, and that's what, again, one of the things that makes these collector's editions so good. These gorgeous booklets, they're almost worth the price alone sometimes. So yeah, we get the poster, get the booklet, get the gorgeous box, gorgeous slipcase, and then of course the artwork continues. And then inside we actually do get 4 discs. Reversible sleeve, of course. Got that original poster on the front. So yeah, we get 4 discs. We get obviously the US cut 4K. We get the US cut on a 4K disc. And then we get another 4K disc, and that contains both the Hong Kong cut and the Japanese cut, which is essentially, it's like a hybrid. Essentially, it is. And then we get regular Blu-rays as well. We get a regular Blu-ray with our international US cut, and then boom, last disc Blu-ray with the Hong Kong and Japanese cuts on. So I've just got done watching the Hong Kong cut for the first time. Of course, Jackie Chan's personal cut of the film that he signed off on. So obviously we know that he wasn't happy with what James Glickenhaus put together. And I've gone back and rewatched the James Glickenhaus cut since, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's an interesting experiment, certainly is. But it doesn't work. Now, James Glickenhaus, I mean, I really like McBain. I really do. And then obviously, The Exterminator, that's a real rough and ready, flick. But it really comes back to the fact that it's just a clash of styles. That one of these things is not like the other, guys. But just got done watching the Hong Kong cut. So obviously the differentiation. So the Hong Kong cut is 92 minutes and the US cut's 95 minutes. So right off the bat, there's a little difference in the runtime. But what this essentially is, Jackie recut the film, he reshot scenes and shot new scenes. Case in point, all the stuff with Sally Ye. Which, to be honest, when I went into this, I appreciated there was going to be some stuff in here that was different, but it is significantly different. But what I'll say is, I think I don't ever need to see the James Glickenhaus cut ever again. Because this, for me, Jackie's cut, I genuinely, I thought it was so much better. And this, for me, actually works. I was very, very pleased with what was in this cut. So, of course, it all is in Cantonese. And to be honest, I think even that comes off better, because you could tell in the James Glickenhaus cut, when Jackie's doing the English dialogue, you can hear, you can notice that he's struggling with it. You know what I mean? And just a lot of the dubbing is awkward. Like, I love Moon Lee. She's in the Hall of Fame after what she did in Iron Angels. She'll always be fantastic as far as I'm concerned. But good God, the voice actress that they gave her in the US cut to dub her dialogue, Christ, she is whoever they got to dub Moon Lee's voice. She's awful. She's awful. So that makes, but it just certain things like that, it makes it a rough watch, and just the pacing of it, and just like what was in the Glickenhaus cut, it's very janky in parts. Whereas obviously what Jackie's done when he's recut it, he's tightened things up a lot. And just the way he's reworked the action scenes as well, obviously, through editing and reshooting certain shots and stuff like that. It has a much better flow to it, and the action is more in keeping with what you expect from Jackie. It's a higher standard. But even just because they've reshot scenes that workers can, it gets us to where we get to in the US cut, but through a different avenue. Like, for example, when Moon Lee's dad's killed, the version that we get in here is drastically different to what's in, like, he's basically found on his boat in the Glickenhaus cut, whereas in the Hong Kong cut, Jackie's cut, it's very, very different how it goes down. And also Bill Wallace gets an extra fight scene in this, which is cool. Gets it helps to really establish him as a formidable opponent for Jackie. But just the whole vibe of this, and like I say, it's always great to see Sally Yeh. You know, obviously her it's revealed obviously her uncle, who initially in the US cuts just presented as one of Roy Chow's cronies who owns the massage parlor, but he gets more to do in this as well, and obviously it's revealed that he is the family of Sally Yeh's character. He's her uncle. I always remember him as Jackie's boss at the law firm from Dragons Forever. So getting to see him show up in this, it's great. Um, I honestly, I'm really, really pleased with this. And again, I could kick myself for not watching this back when I had the initial release from 88 Films. I should have watched this because it would have been a much more enjoyable experience. Like I say, the action's better. The whole pacing and flow of this is better as well. And just the stuff that Jackie reshot, I genuinely think is better. I.e., all the stuff with Sally Yeh. And that again, one of the other key things he reshot as well was the fight that he has at the end with Bill Wallace. I mean, I'll say even in the James Glickenhaus cut, I like the fight that they have in that cut, but this they've really leveled up here. You feel as though you get more bang for your buck, basically. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. It's a beautiful, beautiful release. Obviously, you got all this gorgeous artwork, and that booklet is fantastic. Can't wait to read through that. But yeah, I'm so happy with this. This is just on the basis of getting to sit down and watch the Hong Kong cut. I mean, I know it's something that I had available to me before, but yeah, and I really like the fact that Sean Longmore's artwork acknowledges, like, okay, over here you have the Hong Kong cut, over here you have James Glickenhaus's cut. I want to go back and watch it with the Mike Leader and George Clark commentary, because I love George Clark. I love the Invincible Asia channel. So getting to hear his commentary for this and on the Hong Kong cut as well is going to be a treat. There's just certain things that were cut down and cut out. Like we get to Hong Kong a lot faster in this, which is very, very, very welcome. They cut out the funeral scene, which I was so pleased with, because you have again, that whole thing of awful child actors. You have the awful child actor in the funeral scene who has that weird line about his daddy. Is it his daddy coming back soon or coming home soon? But this a child actor, apparently this kid doesn't know how to talk like a human being, because it sounds like something almost out of a horror film. It's an awful line delivery. And one might say it's an awful line of dialogue anyway. Just have the kid be present. Just have him look sad. He doesn't have to say anything. Could have been a lot easier on all of us. Thankfully, that scene's gone from Jackie's cut. Good riddance. Yeah, but obviously, it goes to a larger point. On a lot of these re-releases of the Hong Kong stuff, we've been fortunate enough to get multiple cuts included with the various releases. And it just goes to show how much of a difference it can make. Like, case in point, like, I'll pick the Hong Kong cut of this film each and every time now. Similarly, could compare it to the Dragons Forever. The Dragons Forever. I mean, I know in the Cyclone Z cut you get the additional scenes with Yun Biao, and they're fun. But one of the things that really gets me at the end of Dragons Forever is they show the outtakes and the cut away from, Jackie carrying Pauline Young, and them getting in the cars and driving away from the scene. I love that. I wouldn't want to lose that. Whereas you do in the Japanese cut, so it's like, it's cool that you get to see the outtakes, and it's cool that you get all of the extra scenes with Yun Biao. But I don't know. So I always pick the Hong Kong cut of Dragons Forever, and then again, Heart of the Dragon. I'll always go with the Japanese cut because obviously you get the different soundtrack, and you get the extra fight scenes. And I really do like the Japanese soundtrack, or the first, well, for the first mission. That's the Japanese cut of Heart of the Dragon, isn't it? But you get obviously Jackie's songs, China Blue and Tokyo Saturday Night. But then you've got the gorgeous score as well. So I'd pick the Japanese cut of Heart of the Dragon. And then recently did a comparison, sat down and I watched the Taiwanese cut and then the Hong Kong cut of Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars. And that's another thing, like the Taiwanese cut is the longer cut, and I think it's about 12 minutes or so longer. And again, I didn't dislike it, but the Hong Kong cut of Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars is so much better. The pacing of it, though, 12 minutes might not always sound like a long time, but it makes a significant difference, to the flow of it, the pacing of it. And then another similar example, The Big Boss. We've got like the 1983 100-minute cut that's been around for, that's been like the go-to cut of the film for the longest time. And then, of course, as part of the Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest box set, they released they finally tracked down and restored the Mandarin cut of the film, the longer cut. Obviously not the complete cut by any means, but the longer cut. And it's cool to have. But I'll tell you, and again, I'm sorry if this is sacrilegious to say, but I prefer the 100-minute 1983 cut. It flows better. But it just goes to show, though, the difference it can make. All of these different cuts of the film, it can make or break it. You could go from being lukewarm on something to really, really connecting with and taking to it, in a different cut of it. And that's exactly what's happened here. I really like this Hong Kong cut of The Protector. And it really, really improves it, genuinely. But yeah, I'm honestly really pleased with this. If you're thinking about adding it to your collection, I think you'd be really pleased with what you get for your... And if you have it already, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And again, please tell me your thoughts. Do you like the James Glickenhaus cut, or do you like the Jackie Chan cut better? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But that wraps this up. Again, just really glad to have this. And it's given me a whole new appreciation for The Protector, having seen Jackie Chan's cut of it. And that's going to be the one I always go back to from here on out. That wraps this up. Thank you for listening to me talk about it. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.